Yeah, hello, Mark. I'm looking at your email here, and let's just try a couple things first. Let's see what we can do, and then if we need to meet, we'll knock that out as well. But what I'm going to do is show you a little bit. Here's my Wix. I believe you probably were able to make an account. Again, we don't want to pay for anything. We want to use their free service for this project. I'm not sure if you sign in, if you see this screen or not. But basically what I do want you to go, I know you will see up here where it says My Sites here in the upper left. I'm going to have you click on the down arrow, and then I'm going to have you choose Create a New Site right here. And then you're probably going to get asked a couple questions. Well, what kind of website do you want to create? Doesn't matter here. You could literally choose anything. I show you in some of my videos more about those types of things in a little bit. You get a couple choices. Create your website with the Wix ADI or with the Wix editor. I highly recommend starting with the Wix editor. And that may take a second for that to load up, but looks like it's loading up right now. And then, as you see here, it didn't matter if we chose business or the other ones, because believe it or not, we can actually look through all of these different templates that they have already set aside for us, for example, from advertising and marketing. And you can then open up photography, and you can see some other bulleted points here. But what we're going to do is we're going to choose blank templates right there, the good old blank template. Now you've got a bunch of different options here, and guess what we're going to do? Yep, start from scratch. So we're going to choose edit here as I hover over start from scratch. As you see, it is free. And then it may ask me a few things here. Let's let it load up and see what's going on here. Okay, and here we are, a nice clean slate, if you will. And here, let me give you some tips. And as well as I do show you some of these things with the new layout here. Don't forget to read this up here in red. I've actually had already some people emailing me about that already. So you can watch the introduction. But here I have the lesson 13, the new editor update. All right. And I've got a couple of them for the new editor update, if you will. And actually, it looks like I have this here, and then this goes right into my tutorial number 1. Now, this, again, is going to look a little bit different when you start going here, but as well as Lesson 13, Tutorial 2, these options are a little bit different than on the new API, if you will, or the new GUI, the Graphical User Interface. But if you watch this video right here, the update, I do go through quite a bit of those. So nothing too difficult. Obviously, if you want to work on your background, you choose background, and then, hey, you can choose a color. Now, there's all these different cool things that you can add to your background. But again, you want to think about your audience of who is actually going to be looking at these portfolios. You may want to try to find a professional kind of background to it. You can choose colors. You can add a color, if you will, and actually get into this scenario here and add that. Again, you can play around with that, but think about your audience, and sometimes just a nice solid gray color. It works really well for portfolios. You can actually also click in the middle of this area here. Let me close that. Click in the middle of this area here. I can change my background, or I can change my page. This would be my page. I can choose no color, if you will. It's kind of transparent. It makes it all look the same color, if you will. Or you could go crazy with it and kind of change things. Up to you, but I'm just kind of showing you some tips. If you ever need to add anything, this location right here, add text, for example. Let's just throw in some all caps, if you will. Now, you may not be able to see it because that text is dark because you have a dark background. But if you triple click on it, you can see it appears. Sometimes I need to click and drag. I like to change that color of the text right here in the editor. Change it to a color that I can see, and white is definitely able to see in that dark background. You can change the file size. You can change what it says. Hello. And all this good stuff. You can change its effects if you have some shading, if you will. Actually, you have to have it highlighted first. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can play with the spacing between the actual letters. It's called kerneling, if you will. So again, you can play around with all of that stuff. Again, you can add your text. You can add images. Again, they have all sorts of cool images and styles that you can have, rollover effects. You can play around with all of these. And basically, you may have to upload one of those. If you have one of those on your drive, on your personal computer, you'd have to upload that to Wix, and then you'd be able to insert that. You can do a gallery where you have a few pictures going through a gallery, and there's all sorts of different kinds. There's some pretty cool galleries you can play around with. A slideshow, which is something new that they added, which is really cool. This is stuff you can just play around with. Sometimes you may need a button, and you can add a button, for example, and this button may take you to another page. It may take you to a PDF document of a project that you've worked on, all sorts of stuff. But you've got these. Again, I'm going to let you play with it. One of the big important ones is going to be a contact form on one of your pages. You're going to need to add a contact form. I don't care which one, but I'm just, again, just showing you some things. A lot of times they have set your email. If you go to your gear for settings, here's the email of where mine is going to. You want to make sure that is set. Again, don't change the name, email, and subject and message, because you're going to want them, when they're actually previewing it, to put in their name, their email, their subject, and message. Another thing is you're going to have to add some pages, which is a little bit different before, but add page, pretty simple. I can add a page right there. And let's say I need my professional biography page. Maybe I need, looks like I spelled that wrong. My apologies. You can spell check yours. Maybe I need my resume page. All right, I'm done with that. Maybe I need my contact me page. That's where you'll put your contact form. All right, and done. And you can then add a navigation pane. Let me go ahead and close this here. Add a navigation pane. That's called a menu. All right, so let me add my menu, and I need a way to get around to other pages of my site. So let me just throw that in there, and you can see that those pages have appeared. Now you also want to make sure that those appear on all pages, because if I didn't check for that to appear on all page, it would only appear on your Contact Me form. But as you see, you probably want your Contact Me to be last. So I can move your Contact Me down to the bottom, which is kind of cool. All right. And you know what? Your professional biography is going to be your home page. You can go into the settings, and you can say, hey, settings there, and I want this to be my home page. Now my professional biography is my home page. If I ever need to delete a page, don't need this home page. I can click on this and choose delete. Yes, I want to delete my home page and stuff like that. So again, you can then go back to your professional biography page. That's where I'm on. Change the background. Fortunately, you may have to do this for each one of your pages, kind of how you have it set up from before. And your this doesn't work, all right, here, but it does. You have to flip your pages through here, if you will. And I'll show you what I mean by that here in just a second. So, you know, add no color to it. Again, I'm just playing, and you can see how then your Contact Me, you'd have to do that same thing. But let me choose Preview. Professional Bio. I am on my professional bio page, my resume page, my Contact Me page, and stuff like that. So I would need some titles. Again, that's where these videos, let's see here. Oh. These videos here kind of go through what I'm going to be looking for. All right, assignment 3, what I'm going to be looking for there. Assignment 2, what I'm going to be looking at for that. Assignment 3, or page 3, if you will, what I'm going to be looking for there. Again, we're not doing our Prezi, and so actually this wouldn't be page 5, but you would get the drift. What I'm looking for here, you can review all of this information. So, hopefully that helps you get started with the new Wix editor. If I need to go back to my editor, I can go there. And as I saw, one of my pages, my professional biography, had a dark background. Maybe you want those different for each page, but maybe you want them the same. I don't know. Again, you can play around with those. But again, you're going to be adding titles. You're going to be adding paragraphs. Let me go back up to my text. You're going to be adding paragraphs, if you will, so you can talk. Again, I can't see the text because my text is dark. I can click on it. I'm definitely wanting to change that color right away that I can see it. And you can also then take this text box. Don't be afraid to stretch these out. Man, I've seen so many text boxes where they're just aligned to the left, and you can keep adding right onto your text. You could probably make it a little bit bigger by increasing the font size and stuff like that and whatnot. So again, play around with things. If you do need some additional assistance, please let me know. Take a look at this video, trying to get you kick-started here, and let me know soon. Have a good one, man. We'll talk soon, okay?